Shalom Yashala. First and foremost, I'd like to say Barakafar Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakwa Kodash. I'm going to say double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all of the sincere Akim worldwide, also that push this truth in sincerity. Hey, I'm just gonna go over the topic of Belshazzar and Daniel in Babylon. Because in all honesty, I was reading over that story. I watched a couple of clips in regards to that particular story. And yo, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, was really there for Daniel, man. You know? The Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai held Daniel down, man. Through all of the tribulation, through all of those testing times that he went through, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai had his prophets back, man. And that's the kind of mentality that we got to have the same mentality as Daniel, I'll say, Salakia, which is regardless of what Yahweh puts us through, he's going to deliver us also from it. I'm going to start from the first verse in Daniel 5, which reads, Belshazzar the king made a great feast to 1,000 of his lords and drank wine before the 1,000. Belshazzar, while he tasted the wine, commanded the king to bring the golden and silver vessels which his father Nebuchadnezzar had taken out of the temple which was in Jerusalem, that the king and his princes, his wives and his concubines might drink therein. So basically the heathen were just taking the piss. You know, Belshazzar told his servants to go to the temple, yeah, and take all of the gold and silver that they had taken through Nebuchadnezzar and bring it to him so that his concubines could drink from it. He was allowing his women and his concubines to drink from the sacred ornaments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Oh, man. The heathen were trying it. They were really trying the thing. It says, then they brought the golden vessels that were taken out of the temple of the house of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which was at Jerusalem, and the king and his princes, his wives and his concubines drank in them. Man. They drank wine and praised the gods of gold and of silver, of brass, of iron, of wood and stone. So hey, they were worshipping their idols, they were worshipping their gods, their wicked ass deities, yeah, and they were taking the piss, man, drinking out of the sacred ornaments that the Israelites had in the temple. In the same hour came forth fingers of a man's hand, yeah, and rolled over against the candlestick upon the plaster of the wall of the king's palace, and the king saw the part of the hand that wrote. So you got to think about this in pictures, like Apostle Gabar always promotes, yeah. Belshazzar, that damn fucking heathen, was having the time of his life, having a party with his peoples, yeah. And Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai had it to where a spirit, you know, an angel came down, man, and there was a hand like unto a man that started to write upon the wall. Yeah, and all they could see was a hand. It says, then the king's countenance was changed, and his thoughts troubled him, so that the joints of his loins were loosed, and his knees smote one against another. So basically, he got weak knees, man. It got to the point where he got so scared from seeing that he didn't know what to explain it as, what aberration he was seeing. His knees started to click against each other for fear. Then the king cried aloud to the astrologers, the Chaldeans, the soothsayers, and the king spake and said to the wise men of Babylon, whosoever shall read this writing and show me the interpretation thereof shall be clothed with scarlet and have a chain of gold about his neck, and shall be the third ruler in the kingdom. Then came in all the king's wise men, but they could not read the writing, nor make known to the king the interpretation thereof. Then was King Belshazzar greatly troubled, and his countenance was changed in him, and his lords were astonished. So the king was fucked up, man. That Babylonian king got confounded, man. Hey, and that's a beautiful thing, man. Fuck these heathen, and that's how these heathen are gonna go back to being, especially Esau, man. Because right now Esau's got his foot on our neck, yeah, and he's putting us through hell. But the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is gonna bring some real spiritual intervention on his ass, man. And I'm gonna get into that. It says, now the queen, by reason of the words of the king and his lords, came into the banquet house, and the queen spake and said, O king, live forever. Let not thy thoughts trouble thee, nor let thy countenance be changed. There is a man in thy kingdom, in whom is the spirit of the holy gods, and in the day of thy father light and understanding and wisdom, like the wisdom of the gods, was found in him, whom the king Nebuchadnezzar thy father made. That's like that thy father the king, thy father made master of the magicians, astrologers, Chaldeans, and soothsayers, for as much as an excellent and knowledgeable and understanding interpreting of dreams and showing of hard sentences and dissolving of whom the king named Belshazzar. Now let Daniel be called, and he will show the interpretation. Then was Daniel brought in before the king, and the king spake and said unto Daniel, Art thou that Daniel which Judah, whom the king my father brought out of Judah? So let me read that again. Art thou Daniel which out of the children of the captivity of Judah, whom the king my father brought out of Jewry? I have heard of thee, that the spirit of the gods is in thee, and that light and understanding and excellent wisdom is found in thee. And now the wise men, the astrologers, have brought in before me, that they should read this writing and make known unto me the interpretation thereof, but they could not show the interpretation of the thing. And I have heard that thou can make interpretations and dissolve doubts. Now if thou can read the writing and make known to me the interpretation thereof, thou shalt be clothed with scarlet and have a chain of gold about thy neck, and shall be the third ruler in the kingdom. So he was making Daniel all kind of offers. He basically said, yo, fuck it, you can have the money, man, you can have the riches. He was troubled in his spirit, man. His countenance was heavy upon him because of what Yahweh did unto him, and all the Lord did was spiritually intervene. Then Daniel answered and said before the king, let thy gifts be to thyself, because the gift destroyeth the heart. Daniel was a man of integrity, and he knew that Yahweh was gonna bring Belshazzar down, man. He weren't trying to take no payment, and give thy rewards to another. Yet I will read the writing unto the king and make known to him the interpretation. O thou king, the Most High Yahweh gave Nebuchadnezzar thy father and a kingdom and majesty and glory and honor. So it came from the Lord. And for the majesty he gave him, all peoples and nations and languages, all people, nations and languages trembled before him, whom he would slew and whom he kept alive, and whom he set up and whom he put down. But when his heart was lifted up and his mind hardened in pride, he was disposed from his kingly throne, and they took his glory from him. And he was driven from the sons of men, and his heart was made like the beasts, and his dwelling was with the wild asses. They fed him with grass like oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven. Till he knew that the Most High Yahweh ruled in the kingdom of men, and that he appointeth over it whomsoever he will. And thou, his son, O Belshazzar, has not humbled thine heart, though thou knewest all this. But thou liftest up thyself against the Lord of heaven, because he was taking the holy ornaments of the Israelites and making mockery of them. Yeah, and they have brought the vessels of his house before thee. It says, and thou and thy lords, thy wives and thy concubines have drank wine in them. And thou hast praised the gods of silver and gold and brass, iron, wood and stone, which see not, nor hear, nor know, and Yahweh in whose hand breath is, and whose are all thy ways, hast thou not glorified. Amen. Man. You know, and you could read the whole chapter, man. It's all good. I mean, you know, this is apparently what the word said. Then was, let me start from verse 24. Then was the part of the hand sent from him, and this writing was written, and this is the writing that was written. Mene tekel upharsin. I'm gonna have to look that up because that's in the Hebrew. That's not what it would have said. But anyway, this is the interpretation of the thing. Mene Yahweh have numbered thy kingdom and finished it. Tekel, thou art weighed in the balances and art found wanting. It says, Perez, thy kingdom is divided and given unto the Medes and the Persians. Man. He was troubled, man, because he knew that Yahweh was giving him a vision, man. Hey, I'm going to read this, the line back off that. Also in the book of Daniel. Daniel's the 2nd chapter and the 20th verse. Daniel answered and said, Blessed be the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua forever, for wisdom and might are his. And he changeth the times and seasons, he removeth kings and setteth up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise, and knowledge to them that know understanding. He revealeth the deep and secret things. He knoweth what is in the darkness, and the light dwelleth in him. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua ultimately is the one that controls everything that goes on upon the face of the planet Earth, man. Hey, the heart of the king is in the hand is in the Lord, man. The heart of the king is in the hand of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and he can do whatever he wants, man. The Lord has created us for his purpose, man. There's so many scriptures. Deuteronomy 32, and I'm gonna go straight to 39. See now that I, even I am he, and there is no God with me. These are the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. The Most High is in control of the situation, and that's what we always have to maintain, man. You know, just a second, Akyam. Just a second. Yeah, I just want to grab this real quick in the Apocrypha, because ultimately, as long as you keep your faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, the Lord's got you, man. And that's the kind of non-faltering faith that we're supposed to have. I mean, it's easy to say, but, you know, brothers are going to really be tested when the times come or tribulation. But you got to have this kind of mentality, like it says in the book of Sirach 2 and 10. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? And evidently the Lord always rolled out for the people that were down for him, man. Hey, Abraham was considered the Lord's friend, you know. And Abraham was exalted, man, by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua because of his loyalty to the Lord. You look at Moses, man. Moses chose rather to suffer with his people than live good with the Egyptians, man. And the Lord blessed him for that. King David, the beloved of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You gotta understand that, hey, if trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding, man, that Proverbs 3 and 7. You see, because all of these basics are part of building your house on that foundation, man, that sturdy foundation. Because Daniel could have been called into Belshazzar's temple, and he could have said, oh shit, oh king, please, Baba Kishar, destroy me not. You know, he could have sold out, man, but he maintained his integrity, he maintained his faith, and he basically pretty much rebuked Belshazzar to the face, man. Broke down the vision and told him the Lord's they're gonna fuck you up. And because of the fact that Daniel had boldness in the Lord, and he broke it down convincingly and really said what it was, and he convicted the king in the spirit, guess what? He was blessed. And even when he got thrown in that den of lions, the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua sent an angel to protect him, man. Hey, man, that's Psalms 91, man. I always mention that scripture because, hey, if we maintain in this truth, the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to guide us, man. Hey, the Lord is going to protect us as long as we stay loyal, man. You read the book of Hebrews, the 11th chapter. I'm just going to put it in the background, you know, just for the sake of it, in the spirit, you know. But it tells you, man, about faith, you know. It tells you about faith. Faith is so important, man, and faith has delivered a lot of our people, man, from Abel to Enoch to I mean, you know, even though Cain was killed by Enoch, so like Abel was killed by Cain. Ultimately speaking, that righteous spirit of Abel, man, is going to live on, whereas that wicked Cain spirit is going to be destroyed, because in the spirit, he that have an ear to hear, let him hear. That's Esau, man. In the spirit, man, he was a murderer from the beginning. You know, he that have an ear, let him hear. You know, you got to have faith in the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and he's going to fulfill his promise and deliver you, deliver us, the hopeful elect, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Ra'azah. You know, although we're going to go through tribulation, Scripture talks about us going through tribulation 10 days. Some brothers are going to have to literally face death, you know, but the Lord will raise you back up, man. That's the kind of unfaltering faith you got to have, that no matter what, you're going to follow Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Though he slay me, yet will I maintain my trust in him, man. Hey, shall we receive good of the Lord and not evil? You know, it's a balance, man. Revelations 11, I want to start from 12. It says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in the cloud, and their enemies beheld them. This is talking about when the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua returns to save the hopeful elect. When it speaks about a cloud, that's in reference to the Lord's chariots. You see, because the Lord is actually going to deliver his elect through what the world would classify today as the unidentified flying objects, because they're unlearned. Back in the ancient world, people knew what they were. Those were the chariots of the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, the vehicles that destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, the vehicles that led the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, the vehicles that delivered Elijah, and Enoch. You gotta understand that people were a lot more knowledgeable back then, man. Just because technology's increased and the Lord has increased wisdom in certain aspects, people are a lot less spiritual, much more carnal, because the devil, the carnal man, is ruling the earth right now. But hey, you gotta understand that the Lord is gonna deliver Israel in style. You read the book of Wisdom, Solomon 5, talks about the strangeness of our salvation. We're gonna be saved in such a spectacular way, it's gonna bug these people out, man. Yeah, it says in verse 13, and the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. The number 7 in Hebrew represents completion. So it's not going to be exactly 7,000 men, but there's going to be a high quantity of men, the prophets didn't just stand there numbering men, ultimately speaking, he gave that figure as a complete figure of men, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of heaven. People are gonna get fucked up out here, man. All because they mess with the children of Israel. You gotta understand the Lord's gonna plead with them for Israel's sake, and the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shaphat, which means the Most High's judgment. The Lord's gonna save Israel. He's gonna beautify us, man. And there ain't nothing that these damn devils can do about it. Israel's gonna be delivered, man. Isaiah 45:7 clearly says, man, that the Lord creates darkness and evil, man. Darkness and evil, but he also creates good and light, Man, we just gotta be grateful that Yahweh Yahushai molded us to be righteous, because he could have left us out there to be fucked up with the wicked, I'm going to leave it there, and I feel the point's been made, but hey, until the next time, I'd like to say Barakah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash, double honors to the apostles and elders that teach us well. Shalom, Makim. Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Barakah Shalom.